Okay. So we are going to start with the new chapter, which is income from house property. This is the second source of income. Okay. So income from house property. Now, before I talk about what is income from house property, let me give a small example. Let me give a small demonstration, and then we will start with uh, the chapter income from house property. Okay. For example, Mr. X is there. Okay. Mr. X is having two houses, house number 1 and house number 2. This particular house is being used by him for occupied. Means this house he is occupying it and using it for his own purpose, for his own residential, I will call it. Okay. Next house property, he is letting out. He is letting out, and he is letting out for a monthly rent of some 15,000 rupees. So this 15,000 rupees is there, which is called as income from the house property on a rudimentary understanding. Okay. So 15,000 rupees per month he is getting. For 12 months he is going to get some 1,80,000 rupees. So certainly there is a income from house property to that to an extent of 1,80,000 rupees. So this is the basic understanding of income from house property. So we have till so far we have seen all the time salary income of an individual, but an individual can also have, apart from salary income from house property. Income from house property. So today we are going to talk about income from house property. So income from house property, the charging section is section 22. So you have to remember this section. Okay, this is the section. So as I've already told that there is a income which is generated from a house property when it is let out, and there is a value to that house property in the form of rent. That rent is called, the rental income is called as annual value of the property, and the property consists of land and building. So there is a land, on this land building is constructed, and this building is rented out. Okay, so this is the basic understanding. So what are the conditions for understanding that there is a income from house property? There are three conditions which should be satisfied that there is a income from house property. These three conditions are: there should be a property consisting of land and building, and the building is rented out. So number one. Number two, the assessee should be the owner of the property. The assessee should be the owner of the property. And the property, it can be even a let out or self occupied. Okay, please remember, the house can be a let out house property or a self occupied house property. Okay, so I will take back my words. The property should not be used by the owner for his own business. And when there is a building like this, either it should be let out or it should be self occupied for his own purpose, but not should not be used for the purpose of the business. If it is used for the purpose of the business, then it is not charged under the head income from house property. Income from house property. But there are some properties, there are from house properties, but there is no, they are exempted from income from house property. So what are those which are exempted? For example, income from farmhouse. This will not. This is not income from house property. This is a exempted income from house property. Now, annual value of any one palace of a ex-ruler. For example, there is a in Gwalior. Gwalior, there used to be a king. Okay, and the king had a kingdom and a palace. Now this palace is handed over to government of India, and two are there still with the king. Okay, in this case, annual value of any one palace of the ex-ruler is exempted from tax. Is exempted from income from house property. The third one is income of a local authority. For example, local authority is PCMC, Pimpri Chinchwad Mahanagar Palika, or Pune Municipal Corporation. They are having so many buildings. They are having so many buildings that will the income from them is exempted from from income from house property. So these are some of the income. These are some of the income from house properties which are exempted, like income of a approved scientific research association, income of an educational institution, property of the income of an educational institution, property of income of approved scientific research association, property of an property income of an trade union, house property held for charitable purpose. For example, this one is this you can understand. For example, there is a BJP party. They are having a headquarters at Delhi, and this that is a big building. So there is no. This is not property income of. There can be. This is used for political purpose, purpose, and there is no income from that one. So property income of political party is exempted, and one self-occupied house property and property used for own business or profession. So these are some of the exempted. Okay. Now the most important part of our discussion starts now. The most important part of our discussion starts now. This is very important. Okay, this particular slide you can take a snapshot, or I'm going to upload the video on YouTube. You have to subscribe it, because I'm keeping all these videos private. If you subscribe, then only you will be able to view this videos. Okay. Now, how do you find out the income from house property? How do you find out income from house property? So please remember, there are some steps. First step. This is the first step. The first step is find out the gross annual value of the house property. Okay. Now, how to find out this? Next slide, I am going to show you how to find out the gross annual value of the house property. This is very important and very critical, and there are some critical calculations which goes into finding out the gross annual value of the house property. You can take a photo of this slide, and I request you. Number one. Number two, after you found out the gross annual value of the house property, that is nothing. Gross annual, you can find out, you can assume it is rent. You have to find out the rent of the house property. That is the gross on annual value of the house property. अगर ये घर भाड़े के ऊपर देते हैं, 12 महीने का भाड़ा कितना आएगा? That is the Hindi version of gross annual value. Less from it, municipal taxes paid. Because see, you are having a house property like this, first floor, second floor, and third floor, and there are not only incomes on this from this house property, not only income in the form of rent, but whenever you are giving whenever there is a house property, not only there is an income, but even there are some expenditures. So what are the expenditures for this? There are repairs during the year. You have to get repairs. You have to pay municipal taxes, property tax, we call it. Municipal taxes or property tax you have to pay. Number two. Number three, you have to get the house property insurance. Because if you don't go for insurance and something goes wrong, like fire takes place, or earthquakes takes place, or some damage is taking place to the house property, then you will lose property, or the cost of there is a damage to the property. So insurance premium also you have to pay. You have to get painted also, painting expenditure. So many expenditures are there. So you can't just say that my income is there. My income tax department can't say that there is an income, you pay income tax on that. No, you have to deduct all the tax, all the expenditures which are incurred for the house property. So for the first income, the first expenditure is municipal taxes. So property tax, you go and pay to the municipal corporation of that respective area. For example, I am having a house, and my yearly property tax or municipal taxes is around 10,000 rupees. So this 10,000 rupees has to be deducted from the income. So if you deduct from the gross annual value the municipal taxes paid by you during the year or the owner, then you will get, for example, it is the rental income is 1,80,000. So on from this you have to deduct 20,000 rupees towards municipal taxes if paid on the house property. So you will get a figure called as 1,60,000 rupees, which is your net annual value. Net annual value. Now this is, after you found out this, then you can go for two deductions from the house property, because there are so many expenditures. This is first expenditure, which is property tax or municipal tax. Number two is this is you have deductions under section 24 of Income Tax Act 1961. Now this 24 is divided into two parts. One is standard deduction at a rate of 30% on NAV and interest on borrowed capital. So let's talk about this particular one. Standard deduction of 30% on NAV. Just now we have found out this one is the NAV, which is 1,60,000 rupees. So what 1,60,000 rupees you got after you deduce or reduce property tax paid by you to the municipal corporation for the financial year. So you arrived at a net annual value, that is the income. You assume that this is your income, but there are so many expenditures also, as I already told: repairs, painting. Number three is insurance. So every year there can be an insurance premium you have to pay on the house property. There are some elements of repairs which are taking place on the house. So that is reducing your income. Some painting has to be done and other expenditures are there. So these expenditures are now allowed to be deducted at a standard rate of 30% on NAV. So at a standard rate of 30% on NAV. So you got NAV as 1,60,000 rupees. On this, you reduce 30% on this, which is 48,000. 1,60,000 into 30% is 48,000. You reduce this one. So 1,60,000, you have to reduce 48,000. So until so far, how many deductions are there? One is municipal taxes. One is standard deduction of 30% on NAV. So please remember, these are the steps. These are the steps that have to be followed. This is the format that is prescribed by the Income Tax Department. Now, after you have found out this, there is one more deduction, which is interest on borrowed capital for the purpose of construction or acquisition of house property. For the purchase or acquisition or construction of house property. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that if you are constructing a house or purchasing a house, now for this purpose you might have borrowed loan from a bank. For example, 30 lakhs loan is taken by you for construction of the house property or purchase of the house property, and 30 lakhs you have taken, 30 lakhs loan you have taken, and you have taken it for 20 years, and at the rate of 20 years at the rate of some 12%. Now what is happening because of this? You have to pay every year 30 lakhs के ऊपर आपको 12% का interest pay करना पड़ेगा, which is 3,60,000 rupees. So on this house property, one more expenditure is income interest on loan borrowed for the purpose of construction or reconstruction or repurchase or reacquisition of the house property. So you have to even eligible to reduce or deduct this expenditure of 3,60,000, because these are all genuine expenditures incurred by the assessee for renting it out or for self-occupied house property. I will just give another example. So rent के ऊपर दिया 50,000 के ऊपर. So the total rent collected by him is 6 lakh rupees. Example. Number two, reduce from this one municipal taxes of 50,000 rupees if it is paid. So you will get the net annual value. The net annual value as 5,50,000 rupees. So this figure you got. Now you got two more expenditures which you can deduct straight away. 30%. The first one is the 30% on NAV is the first deduction. So 5,50,000, 5,50,000 into 30% is equal to 1,65,000. Okay, I know the calculation, so I am just writing it. Now, the house property is been constructed by taking a loan from bank, and every year you have to pay to the bank some 1,35,000 rupees as interest. So this expenditure also you have to deduct from this one. So 5,50,000 minus 1,65,000 minus 1,35,000 is equal to, these two put together is 3 lakhs. So you will get an income of 2,50,000 rupees. So it's not 6 lakh rupees which is your income on which you have to pay income tax, but your income is only 2.5 lakhs after reduction of municipal taxes, standard deduction of 30% on NAV, and borrowed interest on borrowed capital for the purpose of construction or purchase or acquisition of house property. Hope you have understood. This is very important slide. Now, as I have already told, the most important part of our calculation of income from house property is how to find out the gross annual value of the house property. How to find out the gross annual this particular part we have to find out, which is very, very important. How to calculate it, how to find out this, how to find out is very, very important. How to find out that is very, very important. Now, how do you calculate it? There are almost 7 steps. So there are 7 steps here, 7 or 8 steps, and then all steps we will synchronize them, and then we will find out 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Okay, so this is very important. How to find out the gross annual value is the major headache. Okay, so this is the one which I have just now shown to you. Now, some concepts before I make you understand. Okay, I will show you how to calculate gross annual value. I will show you how to calculate the gross annual value. Okay, you can take the snapshot of this particular slide. Very important slide. Very important slide. This slide speaks a volume about how to find out the gross annual value. Okay, so there are first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and the first step itself has 3 steps. So total, I will assume there are near about 7 to 8 steps. Okay, to find out the gross annual value. So the first step to find out the gross annual value is, you have to find out the reasonable expected rent from the house property. You have to find out the reasonable expected rent of the house property. Okay, how to find out that I will show you in the next slide. Don't worry. Number 1. Number 2 is, after you found out the first step, that is reasonable expected rent of the house property. Very important. Today's session, if you attend, then only you will understand. If you are absent today, you will not understand for sure. So for the first step is find out the reasonable expected rent of the house property. So I will do some problem on this one and we will understand it. Okay, next step is find out the rent actually received or receivable after excluding unrealizable rent. Sorry, this is rent, but before deducting vacancy rent. So how many words are there now? One is reasonable expected rent is 1, actual rent received or receivable 2, unrealized 3, and vacancy rent 4. So 4 words we have already come across. So I will repeat what are the words we have come across. The first word is reasonable expected rent. Reasonably expected rent. The second word is rent received or receivable. The third rent is the third word is unrealized rent. Number 4 is vacancy rent. Okay, and remaining things are there. These 4 words you have to understand. These 4 words you have to understand. Okay, now you can take a snapshot of this one. Now, the first step is, already I told you, the first step is find out reasonable expected rent. Find out reasonable expected rent. Now, what do you mean by reasonable expected rent. What do you mean by reasonable expected rent? Reasonable expected rent is nothing but, I will show you with a small diagram. Now, this particular house is there in Pune station, near to Pune station. Pune station, okay? And Pune station is the prime location of Pune, prime location, okay? And when it is in the prime location, certainly there is a good amount of rent which can be fetched from this particular house property. इससे इसको अगर भाड़े के ऊपर देंगे, it will give us beautiful rent or beautiful income. That is what I can say is an expected rent. अगर इसको भाड़े के ऊपर देता हूं, भैया मेरा एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि ये 50,000 रुपया पर मंथ का रेंट दे सकता है, 50,000 रुपये का रेंट दे सकता है. So this is the basic understanding meaning of expected rent or reasonable expected rent. Now, how do you find out reasonable expected rent? I will show you. Find out reasonable expected rent. You have to find out three things. You will be given three things in your problem. One is fair value, one is municipal value, and one is standard rent. One is fair value, one is municipal value, and one is standard rent. So again, three words have come. First is fair value of the house property. This is the municipal value of the house property, and this is the standard rent under Rent Control Act of 1960 or 70. I don't remember exactly. So fair rent, already I told. अगर बानेर में इतना बड़ा घर है, अगर इसको भाड़े के ऊपर देता हूं तो लगभग इतना पैसा आएगा, इतना रेंट के ऊपर दे सकता हूं. फेयर रेंट, फुल बोले तो लगभग इतना पैसा या रेंट आएगा, on which this is the rent on which I can rent out this particular house property, fair rent. So this will be given in the problem. Municipality will have their own valuations. कि ये अगर घर भाड़े के ऊपर देता है, if assuming that this particular house property is given on rental purpose, so probably this will give a house a rent of 30,000 per month. So this is the second one. First one, second one. Third one is standard rent. Standard rent is under Rent and Control Act. See, if there is a high rent, a poor man will not be able to take the possession of the house because the rent is very high. So Government of India has decided and come out with an act called as Rent and Control Act. तो इतने रेंट से ज्यादा आप रेंट के ऊपर दे नहीं सकते हो ओनर को, वो एक बहुत बड़ी सिग्नल है, वार्निंग है. यू शुड नॉट गिव द हाउस प्रॉपर्टी ऑन रेंट एंड at a particular rate per month. So to control the rent. So you got 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now let's connect the dots. Let's connect the relationship between all these three, and then we will find out what is the reasonable expected rent. Okay. So here, let's take an example. Mr. X is having a house. So let's take an example here. I have taken an example for your purpose. You can just look at the slide. To find out the reasonable expected rent from the given example. So Mr. Ramesh Kumar Mehta is there. He's having house 1, house 2, house 3, and house 4. And in this case, you have to find out the reasonable expected rent from this house property. ये अगर भाड़े के ऊपर देंगे तो कितने में दे सकते हैं, ये this is what we are trying to find out. So first, to find out the reasonable expected rent, you will be given data 1, 2, and 3. Which is municipal value, fair rent, and standard rent. Okay. Now, so in the first case, the municipal value is 50,000 rupees. Okay, all amounts are in rupees per month. Fair rent is 60,000 per month, and standard rent is 40,000 per month. So in the similar way, house number 2, house number 3, house number 4, the data is given. First, we will concentrate on house number 1, to find out income, what is the reasonable expected rent, because to find out the gross annual value of the house property, the first step is you have to find out reasonable expected rent. You have to find out the reasonable expected rent. The first step I am doing. Now, let's find out the reasonable expected rent from the house property of house number 1. क्या क्या दिया है? म्युनिसिपल वैल्यू दिया है, रेंट दिया है और स्टैंडर्ड रेंट दिया है ऑफ द हाउस प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, तो म्युनिसिपल वैल्यू इज 50,000 rupees, fair rent is 60,000 rupees, and standard rent is 40,000 rupees. Now what should you do? Look here, fair value, fair rent, municipal rent, or fair value of the house property or municipal value of the house property, whichever is higher, this is the first step. And then compare that one with standard rent and whichever is lower. Again, I will repeat 3 times. You just pay attention. Fair value versus municipal value, whichever is higher, you take that here. And then compare this one with standard rent. And you will get rent expected. Whatever is the lower. Again, I am telling fair value versus municipal value, whichever is higher, you take that figure here. Compare that one with standard rent, and whichever is lower among them will become the expected rent what we wanted, reasonable expected rent. Again, I am telling you, fair value versus municipal value, whichever is highest, take over this place, and then compare it with standard rent. And after you compare and take the one which is lower among these two. Whichever is lower, you take the one that is lower, is the expected rent. So with this concept, let's do the problem to find out the reasonable expected rent, which is the first step of finding out the gross annual value. Let's do it. Okay. So the first step among the two, first step क्या है? Municipal value versus fair rent, whichever is higher. So municipal rent value versus fair rent, whichever is higher. दोनों में से कौन सा higher है? 60,000 higher है. So this is the first step. Now compare this 60,000 rupees with standard rent. Standard rent we have compared. So I have compared this one with 40,000 rupees, which is standard rent, and among them whichever is lower is the reasonable expected rent. So the answer or the first step is of a gross annual value. The first step is 60,000 rupees is the reasonable expected rent. Hope you have understood it. Now let's talk about the second house property. The second house property, the municipal value is 40,000 rupees. The fair rent also is 40,000 rupees. The standard rent also is 40,000 rupees. So there is no problem. Answer will be reasonable expected rent will be 40,000 rupees, because among them whichever is highest is 40,000 rupees. Among them whichever is lowest is 40,000 rupees. So you will get the reasonable expected rent as 40,000 rupees. Now house property number 3, we will find out the first step of a gross annual value, which is reasonable expected rent. Municipal value versus fair rent, whichever is highest. इन दोनों में से whichever जो भी ज्यादा है, whichever is highest, which is 1,50,000 rupees. Compare this one with standard rent, and whichever is lower. So 1.5 lakh और 1,60,000 में whichever is lower is 1.5 lakh रुपया. So this is the reasonable expected rent. बोले तो ये घर अगर भाड़े के ऊपर देता हूं तो इतना इनकम तो जनरेट होना चाहिए in the form of income from house property. Hope you have understood it. Let's do the fourth case and get the answer for reasonable expected rent. The fourth case is the municipal value of the house property is 1 lakh per month. The fair rent is 1,20,000 per month, and the standard rent is 1,20,000 per month. So for the first step is in दोनों में से whichever is highest, that is municipal value versus fair rent, whichever is higher. So which is 1,20,000 rupees. And compare this one with standard rent, whichever is lower. तो दोनों सेम है, इसीलिए रीजनेबल एक्सपेक्टेड रेंट इज 1,20,000 रुपीज. अगर ये घर भाड़े के ऊपर देते हैं तो अपने को इतना भाड़ा मिलना चाहिए, नहीं मिला है, इतने भाड़े के ऊपर देना ही है. ना ये क्वेश्चन क्यों आ रहा है कि भैया एक देना ही है यार, इतना मिलेगा क्यों? बोले तो जनरली लोग क्या करते हैं, दिस हाउस प्रॉपर्टी विल गेट एन इनकम ऑफ 1,20,000 per month. Into 12 months is 14,40,000 rupees. So this is the total income from the house property. Now it comes under 30% bracket. Means he has to pay almost 5 lakh rupees as tax. तो टैक्स को कम करने के लिए क्या करेंगे, इसको कम करेंगे, बोलेंगे खाली भैया हम आई हैव गिवन दिस हाउस प्रॉपर्टी at 80,000 rupees per month only. So what is he trying to do? He is trying to avoid income tax. So government tells that okay, you have given it on 80,000 rupees, but the expected rent from this is 1,20,000. So I will not take into account this one for the purpose of income tax calculation. I will take into account this one. So that is the logic, we call it as black money. Black money कैसा तैयार होता है? 1,20,000 का भाड़ा दिया, 80,000 के ऊपर भाड़ा दिया, ये 1,20,000 का घर. So it's not expected. It's not expected. So what are the steps we have seen? We have seen that to find out the gross annual value, we have found out the first step, which is reasonable expected rent. Now this is, let's look at the second step. The second step is rent actually received or receivable after excluding unrealized rent, but before deducting loss due to vacancy, because loss due to vacancy will come here. Okay, don't worry. So we will understand this step number 2. After you found out step number 1, forget about step number 1 now. Go to step number 2. That is, find out the rent received or receivable from the house property after deducting unrealizable rent, but not before deducting loss due to vacancy. Now what does it mean? Okay, see here, we are finding out rent received or receivable. So you can take a photo or snapshot of this particular PPT or slide. Okay, I will just explain it to you. Now Mr. Suresh is having a house property in Baner. Okay, just a moment. Okay, Mr. X is having a house property in Baner. Okay, now he has given this house property to Mr. Y. So once he is giving the house property to Y will have to pay 15,000 rupees per month. So this is the first step, actual amount at which the house property is let out. The property is available at 15,000 per month. This is equal to 1,80,000 rupees for the full year. Mr. X has given this house property to Mr. Y at 15,000 rupees per month. So 12 months it is 1,80,000 rupees. So the property is available for letting out and has been let out at 1,80,000 rupees. Now there can be some problems with the house property with this rent. This is called as actual rent. This is also called as actual rent. Rent कितने के ऊपर चढ़ाया? Okay. Now Mr. Y, who is the tenant, had some employment problem, and it did not get salary of 2 months, because he lost his job and he could not get salary, and that's the reason why he was not able to pay 2 months salary, 2 months rent to the owner. It happens. So that is called as unrealized rent. That is called as unrealized rent. Unrealized rent means what? Out of 12 months, 2 months rent was unrealized, means the tenant has not paid because of various reasons. So now you have to deduct this one. So deduct 15,000 into 2 months is equal to 30,000 rupees. So this is called as 1,50,000 rupees is called as rent received or receivable before deducting loss due to vacancy. So this is the second step. Second step is you have to find out the rent at which the rent actually received or receivable. So for that, what you have to find out? The actual rent at which it has been let out. The actual rent in this case which was let out was 1,80,000 rupees. 1,80,000 rupees. 1,80,000 में घर भाड़े के ऊपर दिया था. That is 15,000 per month. But what has happened? because of some reason the tenant was not able to pay. The tenant was not able to pay. The tenant was not able to pay the rent for 2 months of 2 months. So 2 months is equal to is a loss. So that loss has to be deducted. That is permitted loss. So 30,000 it has been deducted. So finally, how much you got? 1,50,000 rupees is got is the income from the house property. That is called as rent received or receivable from the house property which has been let out, but before deducting loss due to vacancy. Now, please, what do you mean by vacancy? Loss due to vacancy. See, Mr. X has let out on 12 months basis for the financial year 2019-20. Out of this, 2 months was not paid because this is unrealized rent. 10 months. So 10 months का कितना आना चाहिए? 10 into 15,000 is equal to 1,50,000 rupees आना चाहिए. But what has happened? This fellow, Mr. Tenant, left the house property in the month of March. मार्च महीने में वो छोड़ दिया. तो अभी ये घर खाली रहा. The house is vacant for the month of March in the financial year. So जब खाली रहेगा तो उसका income रहेगा क्या? No, there is no income. How much income is not there because of loss? 1 month income will not be there because of loss due to vacant. The house property was vacant and hence there is no income. So you have to deduct that 1 month loss. So that is called as that is called as loss from house property due to vacancy. So how many losses are there? There is a loss of a unrealized rent. There is a loss of vacancy rent. So here in this step you should not do it. In this step you should not do or find out loss due to vacancy. That step will be done somewhere else. So if you look, this step will be done in the step number 4 to find out the gross annual value. The first step is over, second step is over. Okay, so we'll do a problem on second step. So the problem is in front of you. Just take a snapshot and then we will solve the problem. Okay. So in this case, we are going to find out step number 1 as well as step number 2. Okay. Okay. We will do the problem based upon our step number 2. What is our step number 2? We have to find out the actual rent received or receivable. Okay. Now let's do the problem for house number 1, house number 2, and house number 3. Please remember, this data is used for what? For finding out reasonable expected rent. But what is our problem? This problem is required to find out the rent received or receivable. So I don't want this data. This data is not required for me to find out the actual rent received or receivable. But what I require this and I require this. So concentrate on these columns only or this row only. So solution, how to find out the actual rent received or receivable. Abhi actual rent is 48,000 per month. In the first case, 30,000 in the second case, and 1,20,000 in the third case, and 1,20,000 in the fourth case. So I told you that the first step is actual rent at which it has been let out, which is 48,000, 30,000, 1,20,000, and 1,20,000. Now what you are supposed to do? So this is for actual rent, which is for the whole year. When nothing is been mentioned here, for the whole year means divided by 12 करो 4,000 per month. इसको divide by 12 करो 2,500 per month. इसको 12 से divide करो 10,000 per month. इसको 12,000 1,20,000 को 12 से divide करो 10,000 per month. So this is 4,000 per month is the rent at which it has been let out. Second case, 2,500 rupees per month is the rent at which it has been let out. And last case, last but one case, 10,000 rupees is the rent at which it has been let out. And in the fourth case, the rent at which it has been let out is 10,000 rupees. Hope you have understood till so far. Okay. Now let's find out the unrealized rent. Because unrealized rent in the first case, unrealized बोले तो पैसा मिला ही नहीं है. इसको इधर भी पैसा नहीं मिला, इधर भी इतने महीने का पैसा नहीं मिला, इतने महीने का पैसा नहीं मिला. 3 months, in the first case, 1 month rent is not realized. 2 months rent is not realized in the second case, 3 months rent is unrealized in the third case, and 4 months rent is unrealized in the fourth case. So the first, now let's calculate the rent received or receivable from the let out house property. So the house was let out at 48,000, 30,000, 1,20,000 and 1,20,000. Now I told you to find out this, you have to deduct unrealized rent. So unrealized rent is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months and 4 months. बोले तो एक महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला. Either he has not received 2 months rent, here he has not received 3 months rent, and in this case he has not received 4 months rent. So he should have received this much, but he has not received this much. 4,000 is not received. 5,000 is not received because 2,500 into 2 months rent is equal to 5,000. In the third case, 10,000 per month is a loss because of unrealized rent. For 3 months he has not realized. So 30,000 he has not got. In the fourth case, 10,000 he has not got for 4 months. So only 8 months he is receiving. So the loss due to unrealized rent is 40,000. So in the first case, it is 1 month loss because of unrealized rent, which is 4,000. Okay, so 48,000 minus 4,000 is 44,000. 30,000 minus 5,000 is 25,000. 1,20,000 minus 30,000 due to vacant unrealized rent is 90,000. In the fourth case, 1,20,000 was supposed to be received, but loss was 40,000 rupees. So he has received 80,000. So this is the second step of finding out actual rent received or receivable. So hope you have understood the case as such. Okay, now let's go back to our previous slide. Very important slide again. Now we are going to do a problem on income from house property. We are going to do an income from house property problem. Very important problem. Probably this will be there in the examination. So you know how to calculate income from house property by using step number 1 and step number 2. Now, after you found out step number 1 and step number 2, just now I showed step number 1 and step number 2. After you get some figures, for example, step number 1, you got a figure of 5 lakh rupees. Example, okay. In the second case, which is when employing step number 2, you got 6 lakh rupees. So this is the reasonable expected rent. This is the actual rent received or receivable. So these are two different things. Again, I am telling you, very important. Please pay attention. So for our purpose, practical purpose, for understanding purpose, what I did, I took a small example where the reasonable expected rent, that is municipal value versus fair rent versus standard rent, I got a value of example 5 lakhs. So the reasonable expected rent is 5 lakh rupees. Now step number 2, I told at what rent it has been rented out and what is the loss due to unrealized rent. Okay, so that I have understood and taken as an example 6 lakh rupees. So actual rent received or receivable is 6 lakh rupees. Now you have to compare RER. Step number 1 has to be compared with step number 2. That is what is the answer to step number 3. The step number 3 tells that compare step 1 versus step 2, and whichever is highest, that is the result of step number 3. So in this case, 5 lakhs versus 6 lakhs, whichever is highest is 6 lakh rupees. 6 lakh rupees. This is the answer to the third step. The answer to the third step is compare step 1 with step 2. Compare step 1 with step 2 and you have compared it. In the first case, in the first step, you got 5 lakh rupees. In the second step, you got 6 lakh rupees. In the third step, what you have to do, compare this one with this one and whichever is the highest. Because ये इतना रिसीव कर रहा है तो यही लेना पड़ेगा. So compare step 1 with step 2 and you will get the answer to step 3, which is 6 lakh rupees. Because whichever is the highest. And then the step 4 is simple. Step 4 is simple. Find out the loss due to vacancy. जो भी loss हुआ है, भाड़ा नहीं मिला है ना, क्यों बोले तो वो जो घर था खाली था वो फाइंड आउट करो. स्टेप 4 इज लॉस ड्यू टू वैकेंसी. अगर 1 महीना का वो घर भाड़ा के ऊपर चढ़ा नहीं पाए बिकॉज द हाउस वाज ऑन वैकेंसी, so you will not get that 1 month's rent. So you find out that loss due to vacancy. And step number 4 हो गया. Step number 5 is nothing but step number 3 minus step number 4. So hope you are not confused. To find out step number 5, what you have to do? Step 3 minus step 4. Okay, hope you have understood it. I will give a small example. With that you will understand. Okay, let's take a small example. Let's take a small example. You just take a snapshot of this particular slide and we will do the problem. It will take 15 minutes, so it will be continued up to 1 o'clock and 5 minutes. So don't leave because I have to complete the problem. So Mr. X is there. He's having 4 house properties. Sorry, 5 house properties, out of which 4 house properties का data दिया है and it has been let out. And you are asked to find out the gross annual value. You have to find out the gross annual value. Gross annual value. Let's do the gross annual value for the first house. Only concentrate on the first house. Okay. So first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and fifth step you have to do to find out the gross annual value. What is the first step? Expected rent or reasonable expected rent. What is the formula for reasonable expected rent? The formula for reasonable expected rent, as you know, is you have to compare 3 things: municipal value versus fair rent versus standard rent. And I told you among them, whichever is highest, which is 60,000 rupees, and compare this with standard rent, which is 40,000 rupees, and among them, whichever is lowest is 40,000 rupees. That is a reasonable expected rent. So that is the answer I have put. Again, I am telling you very important. Pay attention. If you want to find out the first step, what is expected rent, municipal value versus fair rent versus expected rent. Sorry, versus standard rent. So these two, whichever is highest, is 60,000 rupees. Compare this 60,000 rupees with the standard rent. Among them, whichever is the lower, which is 40,000 rupees, which is our reasonable expected rent. So you found out the first step. So half of your headache is over. Now actual rent. Okay, actual rent at which it has been let out. Okay, this is per year. Okay, sorry, this is per year. You can note down. This is per year. This is per year. For the year it has been let out. Okay, now actual rent. ये भाड़े के ऊपर कितने के ऊपर चढ़ाया? 48,000 के ऊपर चढ़ाया. This particular house property has been let out for 48,000 rupees. Now second step I am doing. What is the formula for second step? Actual rent minus unrealized rent. So 48,000 minus unrealized rent. How many months rent is unrealized? 1 month. Now the total rent at which it has been let out is 48,000 divided by 2 is equal to 4,000 per month. So loss of 1 month is there because of unrealized. So 48,000 minus 4,000, you will get 44,000 as step number 2. उसको 48,000 रेंट आना चाहिए था, लेकिन एक 1 month unrealized rent, which is 4,000 rupees. How did you get it? 4,000. 48,000 divided by 12 is equal to 4,000 rupees is the per month at which it has been let out, and 1 month there is a loss due to unrealized. So he has not received this 4,000 rupees. So 48,000 मिलना चाहिए था, 4,000 नहीं मिला. So he has received 44,000 as a rent. Hope you have understood the second step also. Hope you have understood the second step also. Now the third step. The third step, as I already told to you, or you can see the PPT. The third step is compare step 2 and step 3 and whichever is highest. Step 2 and step 3, whichever is the highest. So step 2 and step 1 and step 2, whichever is the highest. Step 1 is 40,000 rupees. Step 2 is 44,000 rupees, whichever is highest. इन दोनों में से हाईएस्ट कितना है? 44,000 rupees. Whichever is highest, 44,000 rupees. So you got step number 3 also. Hope you have understood up to this stage. Now we are going to find out the fourth step. What is the fourth step? The fourth step is loss due to vacancy. ये घर 1 महीने के लिए खाली था. जब खाली रहेगा कोई रेंट देगा क्या? नहीं देगा. तो 1 महीने का रेंट तो नहीं आया. 1 महीने का रेंट कितना हो गया? 4,000 rupees. I told you 48,000 is the whole month, whole year rent. 48,000 is the whole year rent. But what is the per month? 4,000. Out of this, in this particular case, 1 month rent is 1 month rent is unrealized and 1 month it is vacant. So 4,000 का loss हो गया. So we have found out in the fourth step, the most important step, loss due to vacancy. Loss due to vacancy, and the loss due to vacancy is 1 month, which is 40,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees. So this is the first step. This is the second step. This is the third step. This is the fourth step. Now fifth step. Simple. Step 5 is equal to step 3 answer minus step 4 answer. Step 5 का आंसर क्या है? Step 3 minus step 4. That is, step 3 is this one and step 4 is this one. Out of 44,000, deduct 4,000, he will get a gross annual value of the house property, which is 40,000 rupees, which is 40,000 rupees. This is the way you have to find out the gross annual value of the house property. Hope you have understood. If you have not understood, don't worry. I am going to do the another 2-3 problems and then we will end up the class. Okay, second problem. House number 2. House number 2 is there. This particular details you have to find out income from house property. Income from house property. Okay. Now, first step is reasonable expected rent. How do you find out reasonable expected rent? This versus this versus this, whichever we are. For example, this versus municipal value versus fair rent, whichever is highest is 40,000 rupees. No problem. What about this? This has to be compared with this one, whichever is lowest. 40,000 का 40,000 से कोई मतलब नहीं है, दोनों सेम है. So 40,000 is a reasonable expected rent. 40,000 is a reasonable expected rent. Now number 2 हो गया और number first step हो गया. Number second step. What is the number second step? Number second step is rent at which it has been let out minus actual rent minus unrealized rent. Unrealized rent. Actual rent minus unrealized rent. Now actual rent is how much? He has let out the house property at 30,000 rupees. He has let out the house property at 30,000 rupees. So 30,000 is the actual rent minus unrealized. अभी इधर देखो कितने महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला, 2 महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला, अनरियलाइज्ड है. Okay, now you have to find out the loss due to unrealized rent. That is 2 months. That is 2 months. So 30,000 divided by 12. 30,000 divided by 12 is equal to 2,500 per month. Is the rent at which it has been let out. उसमें से कितना नहीं मिला? 2 महीने का नहीं मिला. तो 30,000 में से 2 महीने का निकाल दो, which is 5,000 rupees, which is 25,000 rupees. This is the actual rent received or receivable. Received or receivable. So you understood this one also. Next one. So this is step number 3. Step number 3 one is, what is the step number 3? Compare step number 1 with step number 2. So 40,000 minus versus 25,000. You will get 40,000 as the highest. I told you whichever is the highest, you have to take that highest also. That highest as the third step. So you have completed this third step. Now fourth step. In this case also, the house has been remained vacant for 1.5 months. So 1.5 months का rent नहीं मिलेगा. So that loss you have to find out. So please remember, it was let out at a house rent of 2,500, and the loss was 1.5 months because he did not get this rent because the house was not on rent, but it was vacant for 1.5 months. So 3750 is the loss due to vacancy. So you have found out step number 4. Now step number 5. What is step number 5? The step number 5 is step number 3 minus step number 4. That is 40,000 minus 37,500. So you will get this figure. So hope you have understood this one also. Hope you have understood this one also. Now let's talk about the third house property. The third house property we will take into account. This is, please remember, per annum. Okay, this is per annum, per annum, per annum. Okay. Now, what is the first step? Expected rent. What is the first step? Expected rent. So among these two, that is municipal value versus fair rent, whichever is highest, which is 50 lakh, 1 lakh 50,000. Sorry, what is the highest out of 1 lakh and 1 lakh 50,000? 1 lakh 50,000. Compare this 1 lakh 50,000, what the result you got with standard rent, which is 1 lakh 50,000 versus 1 lakh 60,000, whichever is lowest. Among them, whichever is the lowest. So you will get the reasonable expected rent as 1 lakh 50,000 rupees. Hope you have understood it. Now, next step. The next step is actual rent received minus unrealized rent. Actual rent at which it has been let out minus unrealized rent. Now, actual rent at which it has been let out is how much? 1,20,000. It has been let out at 1,20,000 rupees. It has been let out at 1,20,000 rupees. ठीक है, ये तो हो गया, लेकिन इसमें से कितना अनरियलाइज है? 3 महीने का अनरियलाइज है. बोलो 3 महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला. 3 महीने का, एक महीने का कितना है? 1,20,000 by 12 is equal to 10,000. तो एक महीने का लॉस कितना हो गया? 10,000. 2 महीने का 20,000. 3 महीने का 30,000. तो 30,000 निकाल दो. That is the second step, as already told. Actual rent at which it has been let out minus unrealized rent, which is 90,000 rupees. Now step number 3. Step number 3 is what? Step 1 versus step 2, whichever is highest. In दोनों में से whichever is highest. So 1,50,000 rupees is the third step answer. Fourth step, ये तो मिला, लेकिन इसमें भी लॉस है ना. 2 महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला. 2 महीने का भाड़ा नहीं मिला. वो कितना लॉस हो गया? 10,000 per month into 2 months is equal to 20,000. So you got loss due to vacancy, which is the fourth step. Loss due to vacancy is 20,000 rupees. Now find out the fifth step. I told you the answer to the fifth step is third step minus fourth step. Third step minus fourth step. What is the third step? The third step is 1,50,000 rupees. The fourth step is 20,000 rupees. Deduct 1,30,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees से 20,000 rupees deduct कर दो, and you will get 1,30,000 rupees. This is the gross annual value. Now fourth problem or fourth illustration or fourth example. Okay, fourth example, fair rent. This is the municipal value. This is the fair rent. This is the standard rent. So to find out the first step, you have to compare all these three. So this versus this, whichever is highest, which is 1,20,000. This versus this, whichever is highest is 1,20,000. Then compare this 1,20,000 result with 1,20,000, whichever is lowest. So both are same. 1,20,000 is the reasonable expected rent. Now second step, actual rent at which it has been let out minus unrealized rent. So actual rent at which it has been let out is 1,20,000. बोले तो ये भाड़े के ऊपर कितने के ऊपर दिया? 10,000 महीने का इंटू 12 महीना इतने के ऊपर दिया पूरे साल के लिए. So the house property has been let out at 10,000 rupees per month into 12,000. The rent received or receivable is 1,20,000. Sorry, this much rent was expected from the tenant, but there was an unrealized rent to the extent of 4 months. So 1,20,000 is the actual rent at which it has been let out minus 4 months rent. Now per month कितना है? 10,000 है. Into 4 months is 40,000 rupees. So 1,20,000 minus 40,000 is 80,000 rupees. Is 80,000 rupees, which is actual rent minus unrealized rent, which is actual rent received or receivable. So second step also is over. Second step also is over. Now third step. What is third step? Third step is in दोनों में से whichever is highest. So you will get 1,20,000. Whichever is highest. Out of 1,20,000 versus 80,000, step 1 versus step 2, whichever is the highest, which is 1,20,000, which is the answer to the third step. Fourth step, you have to find out loss due to vacancy. This particular house property was vacant for how many months? The fourth house was vacant for 1 month, and loss because of the vacancy of 1 month is equal to 1 month into 10,000 rupees. So hope you have understood up to this stage. And last step of the fourth house, what is that? You have to find out step number 5. What is step number 5? Simple. Step number 3 versus step number 3 minus step number 4. So step number 3, 1,20,000 minus 10,000, because this is the last, this was the income. So the eventual income is 1,10,000 rupees. So hope you have understood. And if there are any doubts with you, you please let me know. And you take a snapshot of this one, because I am giving you this as an homework. You can do it on your own, and we'll join in the next class. And today's code is 529. Today's code is 529. Any doubts, you can let me know.